Welcome in, everybody. It's the Craft Beer Republic. Thanks for drinking. Thanks for joining. I am Greg, and I am being joined by my favorite buff friend in the whole wide world, and that's Flex. What's up, big fella?
Hey, nothing much, man. Just hanging out, ready for a classy little show here. I think that's what we do.
It's the classiest in all the interwebs. Nothing classier than the Craft Beer Republic.
That's what I like to think, actually.
Yeah. When people are like, hey, what's your podcast about? Like, I always tell them, like, picture the Monopoly guy drinking craft beer. That's our podcast.
Hey, that's pretty solid. He could be a pretty good mascot for us.
That would be pretty good. Sure. I'll call him tomorrow.
You got connections. You're in California.
Yeah. I'll get my monocle out, give him a call, all that good shit.
To call him. Just to call him, yeah.
It's required. It's the secret password. Follow us on the socials at Craft Beer Republic, at FlexMeABeer, all that good shit. 80553-BEER is our number. So much to get to today. Got some breaking booze news. We just had Memorial Day last week. Figured we'd talk about that. Got a big anniversary party coming up. But, yeah, I'll be there. So come hang out. But Flex has a new beer from a weird-ass brewery that we've never heard of before, and their website sucks. But
all accurate.
All accurate. But it looked delicious. So let's find out what Flex is drinking over there.
In a world where craft beer is king, a world where muscles are bigger than growlers, only one tongue can guide us. One man, one tongue, one tongue jobber. In this world, we must find out what is Flex drinking.
All right. Well, I did my homework today, and I was out and about, and I picked up some beer for the show, as I'm supposed to do, allegedly. And this really simplistic can art kind of caught my eye, as did the logo. So it's like this. It's like the tree with the roots, and it's in a little circle, and like this is what the can looks like. Like it's just real plain, and it's got the name of the beer on the bottom, and it's all just teal. It's really kind of, I don't know, caught my eye, like I said. And then
gives me some real Pure Project vibes.
Yeah, ish, I would say. And then it's got the name of the brewery and where it was brewed. So this is Forbidden Root, and its claims are in Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
And this beer is called Talking About Talking. It is a double dry hopped hazy pale ale. I know how you like your hazy pales.
Mm-hmm.
And it says it is double dry hopped with Citra, Motueka, and Superdelic. Have we ever had a Superdelic beer?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm not even quite sure what that is, because I'm kind of a moron. But this is
cute.
It's pretty light at, I like to think so. It's pretty light at a 5.4%. So I was pretty keen on that, as I'm not looking to get super messed up for the shows.
Sure.
And I figured, you know what? Never heard of them. Why not try it out? And it was like $12.99 for this 4-pack. So very solid pricing, solid can art. And then I pour this beer out, and it is just gorgeous. It is extremely light yellow, very
perfect
hazy,
color,
no head, not much lacing. You get a little bit of sticky bubble on there, but it quickly dissipates.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so on the old nosebuds here. But by the way,
nosebuds.
I need to mention this. They're untapped. There's zero description. Only 28 people have checked this beer in. And I mean, solid rating at 3.91, but I don't know. Is that enough? Is that enough to decide a collective rating?
That's true. Might be a little low.
It's kind of bizarre, but yeah, absolutely no description. It just claims it's hoppy, hazy, spicy, soft, and harsh. So let's get those nosebuds.
And I found it on Untapped. Their first check-in was April 17th, so this is a fresh daddy.
Okay, so it is pretty new. Okay, so extremely hoppy on the schnoz here. There's not really any notes coming through. Maybe a little bit of like faint, like orangey citrus, but nothing super pungent. Just a lot of hops. It claims they're a botanical brewery, so
whatever that means.
It's a little botanical, I guess. By I mean botanical.
It's botanic.
It's botanic. So we'll warm up the old tongue jobber now.
There we go.
Dive right in.
A botanical brewery is a brewery that focuses on incorporating various plants, herbs, spices, and other botanical ingredients into their beer making.
Okay, so super duper hoppy. I would say harsh is the right word. Almost like maybe they used too many hops.
Oh,
too much hops.
It's raining hops.
It is raining something. It's not bad. Like, this isn't bad. It's good.
Okay.
But it almost drinks more like an IPA than it does like a pale.
Interesting.
A little bit lingering, bitterness, but not horrible. Like with the oils and the lingeringness, it just kind of interesting more than anything.
Okay. Would you buy again?
If I was at the brewery, I would get a pour. I don't know if I would get a 4-pack.
Got it.
If it was a little less harsh, it would be a super solid beer. I would say a little too much for a hazy pale.
All right, fair. I looked up Superdelic Hops. Alpha range, pretty high in the alpha acids, 9 to 12%. Flavors. In the beer, you get tropical fruit, sweet, and stone fruit. On the nose, you get mango, passion fruit, and spice.
Maybe there's a little spice. Let me dive back in here.
Yeah, first released in 2023. This complex aromas of sweet berry fruit, stone fruit, and spice on the rub. Dry hopping, especially in early fermentation, to add biotransformation, imparts intense, ripe tropical fruit aromas.
The spice actually definitely comes through on the aroma now. Now that you mentioned it, very spicy there.
On the nose buds?
Them nose buds are spiced.
All right. Well,
yeah,
they can't all be winners.
Definitely an interesting beer. I would say if it was like a professional football team, it probably went like 8 and 9, 9 and 8.
All right. Right around the 500 mark.
Yeah. Like maybe they made the playoffs. It was just like a bad year for everybody else.
Sure. Yeah. One of those that you're glad we took our advice of only buying one can the first time.
Well, see, I did get the 4-pack here.
Oh, no.
Because I went to my shop, man, and I think they're getting rid of the single can shelf.
Oh, fuckers.
Because there was like 2 of them I already had. There was another 2 that I had seen for months now. There is like a 12% stout that I didn't want. And then there was this Grisette beer, which was a little interesting, I guess. I was like almost intrigued to get it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, why do this isn't what I like.
Yeah, I mean, Grisettes are like farmhousey, Belgian-y beers.
Right, very Belgian-y. So yeah. I opted not to get it, and I just bought a couple 4-packs. So I went against what I've been doing.
All right, well, now you got some beers to chug.
Yeah, I'll drink them.
Yeah, I believe in you.
They'll be all right.
All right, well, speaking of drinking, do you do anything fun for Memorial Day?
So like Memorial Day of, not really. It was more like just like a running around kind of day, like a busy day. Yeah. The wife was off, the kids were off, so we just kind of did family shit. And but the day before, I was very excited. It was my nephew's 5th birthday party.
Okay,
and this is my sister-in-law, one of my sister-in-law's kids, and her husband is real cool dude. Loves himself like a solid beer. Big bourbon hunter, just, likes having a good time.
Sure.
But most importantly about this party, we have an annual horse competition, like horse, the basketball game.
Oh, not the...
Yeah, not like the...
Okay, yes. Got it.
And it was funny because we had brought this up during Easter, and we had brought this up Mother's Day, just about how excited we were for it, because last year we got rained out, and it was a big bummer.
Oh,
so we played darts instead, and it just wasn't the same. Darts are fun, just not the same thing. So then we get to the house, or I worked all day, and I get to the house, and I say my pleasantries and hellos, and
on your way to the fridge.
Coolers were outside, so I didn't have to go to the fridge. Super solid, great setup. It's usually me, my sister-in-law's husband, and then his brother-in-law who play, and just 3 real overly competitive guys, and it just was a blast. And I'm gonna tell you who won. Do you want to guess who won?
I mean, I'm always gonna go for you.
Well, you're right.
Okay.
I kicked ass.
Nice.
Yes. I went 3-0. Ain't nobody stopping Flex. And just to rub it in a little bit, when I got home, my kids have some horse toys in the basement, like horse stable, like a American Girl doll type.
Okay.
Deal, you know, so big horse.
Sure.
So I held it up with one hand and held up a one with the other hand and sent it to my sister-in-law's husband.
That's pretty good.
So this is my trophy.
All you needed was like a championship belt around that horse. That'd been great.
Man, got to look for a horse belt now.
So is there like drinking involved? Or are you guys sober while you do this?
Oh, no, definitely drinking.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
good.
There's, what did I have? I had a couple. He bought the 12-pack at Eagle Park Set List, which is their hazy, what's the word? Their staple beer, their flagship beer.
Uh-huh.
So that's like 6.5%. I had a couple of those. He had some kind of rosé sangria, which I'm not a wine guy or a sangria guy or whatever, but I definitely went in the house and poured myself a glass because it sounded delicious.
You had to try it.
Yeah. And the verdict, it was pretty all right.
All right. Yeah, rosé's not for me. I'd go like red wine sangria.
I don't know. What just hit me was the sangria. I was like, that actually sounds kind of nice on this warm day.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah. So noshed some pizza, split a triple IPA, and then the horse commenced, and it was fucking immaculate.
And then you destroyed.
It was immaculate.
Way to go, horse champ.
Hey, thanks, man. So if anybody out there wants to challenge me who's not a professional basketball player,
right? Anybody who's never played college basketball wants to challenge Flex.
If you're an average individual, challenge
right. If you get out of breath running up and down the court, challenge Flex to a game of horse.
Do you have problems getting up off the floor? Challenge me.
Do you shoot free throws like Shaq? Challenge Flex.
Can you not bend your knees? Challenge me.
Oh, I'm in. Here we go, bud. I walk like a fucking stork.
They call you Wilt the Stilt just because you walk like you're on stilts.
Yeah, it's not because of all the women I've vetted. It's just because of my knees.
That would be cool though.
Nice. I had a weird holiday weekend, a weird Memorial Day weekend. But not weird. Some good, some weird.
Why was it weird?
So the Saturday of that weekend, my wife's, get this,
my wife,
former coworker, invited us to not her wedding, but just her reception. So we were invited.
I don't have a problem with this.
Okay. We were invited. Then coworker got fired. This is a recent firing.
Oh.
And then it was like, do we go? Well, the wife is a much nicer person than me because I would have said, you got fired. I wasn't friends with you in the first place. So it was nice knowing you. Have a good life.
See, I like weddings.
Okay. But it wasn't a wedding. It was only the reception.
So that's the best part.
True. Ceremonies are fucking boring. So spoiler alert, we went because my wife is way too nice to say no. And it's at this country club. It says 5 till I think 10, 9 or 10. So I told the wife, I said, no matter what, we cannot, she loves being on time. I was like, we cannot be on time to a party. You look like a fucking dweeb. And so we settled on like 5:15.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's basically on time.
I know. I'm like half hour late is on time. Dude, it's a party. It's not a dinner party. It's not like,
and it's not like anybody's really expecting you to come. So you don't have to be there.
Right. It's not dinner reservations. You gotta be on time for dinner reservations, but it's a party, it's a reception. So anyways, we get there at 5:15 and luckily it was at the same time that her other current coworker, who's still a coworker, was also walking in. So we had somebody to talk to because the rest of the people were like family. So we didn't know any
was it small?
It was very small. At its peak, I would say 30 people max.
Oh, I wouldn't have went.
See? So when we walk in, there's a sign that says like open bar and then in small print at 5:30. I was like, see, we should have gone here at 5:30. Greg's right again.
Also, you had to wait 15 minutes.
Yeah. So 15 minutes of sobriety was really watching the seconds tick by.
Like you didn't pregame it already.
Yeah, no, I had to drive. I didn't, to be fair. So anyways, we do that. We are the only people, like we tried sitting down at tables, and every time it was 4 of us, the wife and I, her 2 other coworkers. And every time we try to sit down, people are like, oh, this is taken. Oh, this is taken. Only have 2 seats. So we ended up because there was no assigned seat. We ended up at our own table, just the 4 of us, which not the worst, because at least we all knew each other or somewhat knew each other.
Accurate.
But then, so, typical like dinner food. It was pretty bleh. Had some drinks. The DJ was weird. It was a pretty small room, as you can imagine, 30 people. I think you probably could have jammed, let's say max 60 people in that room.
Okay.
So not a huge space. Anytime, first of all, the music, and this made me sound old, the music started out so fucking loud, like obnoxiously loud. I think because he did not estimate the size of the space and just was like, I usually turn this up to 7, so we're at a 7 or whatever. And anytime somebody was not on the dance floor, he would start sneaking up the volume as if that's the reason we weren't dancing. Had nothing to do with the fact he was playing the YMCA or some other shitty song.
That's, yeah. I mean,
I had a hard no Village People rule at my wedding.
Really?
Oh yeah. No disco. It was a hard no disco, no Village. We had a do not playlist.
Interesting.
Yeah. Cause we're assholes. So that was kind of weird, and he's not great. So then around like 6:15, the bride and groom have still not made their entrance. They're 45 minutes they're late to their party. And the DJ gets our attention. It's like, all right, everybody, it's just about time for them to make their entrance. And first we're going to show you this video. And then it takes another 5 minutes to get the video to play. And the sound is awful because he even says, I can't get this to hook up to my equipment, so we're just going to turn the TV up all the way.
Oh my gosh.
I leaned over to the wife and I was like, I bet I could. Should I go help him? She just laughed. So plays the video. It is not the highlight of their wedding. It is the entire fucking ceremony. We had to watch from start to finish.
Wait. What?
Yeah. Luckily, it was a Vegas wedding, so it was relatively short. It was like 15 minutes. But it was still 15 minutes of the entire fucking ceremony. All the speeches and I-dos, and, their officiant was creepy as fuck. Is the little white chapel or whatever everybody goes to. And the guy was creepy. And at one point you could tell like the officiant got bored because he was just walking circles around them while he was talking. The whole thing was fucking weird. So after like this 15-minute wedding ceremony that I thought we had skipped down on, then it's like, all right, and here they are. And then they come out and they do. And then it's like a normal reception the rest of the night. But leading up to that, it was just kind of weird.
Yeah, I would almost have left already.
I was trying, but was not allowed.
That does not sound like a great time.
Yeah. So 1 out of 10 would not recommend. Next day, much better. Sunday of the Memorial Day weekend. We went out on the lake. There's a little lake out here where my boss has a boat. You can only have like little, electric boats. They go like top 7 miles an hour kind of thing.
Okay.
But he's got a really nice one. It fits like 12 people. So we went out with Coley and BDN, Devin, intern Brian, and then our friends Kevin and Patty. Brought out some champs and some charcutes.
On the boat?
Yeah, Brian brought out 2 cubes of beer with him.
Jeez.
He was covering everybody. He brought out some Firestone and a fucking case of Coors, just in case we had some trash with us. Did that, came back to the house, did some barbecuing, kept drinking. It was a good day on Sunday.
That sounds like a real nice day.
Yeah. And then Monday, we did go to a concert in the park thing, and Kevin and Patty invited us over, and we didn't know what the drinking at this park rules were. We had never done this before.
I'm assuming people just bring their own shit.
Yeah, I was looking around like, technically it's not legal, but tons of people were not concealing it at all.
So
and
we live essentially across the road from this botanical gardens, botanical gardens.
Ours is a botanical gardens too.
It's crazy. And they have these free concerts throughout the summer. They're on Thursday nights. Not that that means anything to anybody, but when we had first found out about this, we're like, oh, hey, we'll go maybe check out a show. So we walked over there because it's literally that close, and didn't bring anything, no chairs. I think we brought a blanket maybe just to sit on. And we're looking around because they have a couple of food vendors and you could buy beer there and whatnot.
Oh, nice.
But looking around, everybody's got their own coolers. Everybody's got their own bags. People pulling bottles of wine out of bags. Just like the whole kit and caboodle there. Like everybody's bringing their own shit. We're like, oh, So it's not legal, and you're technically on like, their
City
property.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, but nobody seems to give a shit.
Yeah. There's another city nearby that we have gone to a bunch of theirs, and we always bring the wines and the, beers and all that. And it's one of those where like they look down upon you if you're not cracking something open.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like everyone, it's encouraged. Now this one we had never been to, so we just didn't know. And lots of people were doing it. It wasn't quite to the extent of the other one. So instead we just brought some gummies and got super stoned and watched a Journey cover band.
Hell yeah.
Not bad.
We got real fucked up a couple years ago, and there's a huge Pink Floyd cover band that came.
Mm-hmm.
They're like known around like the Midwest, I guess. And yeah, we got pretty fucked up, and we just danced to that all night.
Nice.
It was wonderful.
Yeah, the one that encourages drinking is a city that we do work for at work. And my boss went to this one, and my coworker and I were like, one of the times we've been a bunch of times. One of the times we went, the coworker and I actually had to film some stuff, and my boss brought just a cooler slammed full of beer.
Hell,
it was
yeah.
like, you know where the beer station is.
Hell yeah.
So like we go out, film it a little bit, come back like, gee, I'm parched. Glug, 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 glug.
That's a good boss.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. Like he he got like some sort of, IPA multi-pack, trying to be cool and craft and all that stuff. And this was forever ago, but it was good times.
I can imagine him walking into like the liquor store. Hey, what are the cool kids like?
Hey, sonny boy, what is it that the kids are drinking these days? One of them mentioned a IPA.
IPA. Am I saying it right? IPA?
IPA?
Is it Greek? IPA.
I feel like I should be breaking some glass here. See? Oh, good times. So anyways, yeah. That was my weekend.
Sounds
fucking
pretty solid. Minus that weird, awkward reception.
Weird reception, but the rest of it, not too shabby.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Right on.
Before I forget, shout out to our top listening city last week, and that was Riverside, California. Not to be confused with Riverside, the shitty podcast service we use to record our shows.
We do use Riverside, don't we?
We do. We're locked into a contract.
A small world.
Yes, very. And again, shout out to the Netherlands. A couple weeks ago, they were not topping, but they were showing up on the charts. And once again, they're making a little chart comeback. So
interesting.
Shout out Netherlands. I don't know who's listening, but whatever hello is in the Netherlands. Hello.
Yeah, clearly, they don't have any kind of social media either, because
right. Or
they
much
don't.
to do.
Or yeah. Maybe their internet only gets podcasts. I don't know.
Maybe. They're still on DSL. It's about as much as it can handle.
Dial up.
We can do 50 megabytes. Remember trying to download porn back in those days? Like 5 minutes later, there's one picture.
It was rough.
It was.
Yeah.
I remember one time like I remember one time the parents had left, and I was like, let's see what I can pull up on the old interweb. That was before people knew how to search history, if history even existed on interwebs. It's like AOL days.
It had to.
And maybe. And I remember pulling up a picture, and it was like, line by line would load slowly, and it had been a few minutes.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, and it had been a few minutes. I had gone to the kitchen to get something to drink, and in that amount of time, the parents got home, and I was like, shit.
That's spoiler alert. That's how pictures printed too.
Yes.
When you printed them out,
matrix.
It's just line by line.
Yeah, and they weren't color either. And they had to rip off the edges. Made that noise too.
Man, that was the worst.
Yeah. But yeah, I had to run back to the computer, and like it wasn't responding to me Xing out, so I just turned off. It was back when you would actually had a power button on the computer that if you hit it, like the power went out, like an old school power button.
Yeah, everything went off.
Yeah, the ka-chunk. Like an old tube TV. So anyways, good times. Hi, Netherlands.
Tube TV. I bet they still use those in the Netherlands.
They're like, these assholes. We listen to their show, now they're talking shit about us. I bet they're like so much better than we are on everything ever.
It's like one of the happiest places to live, I believe.
I think somewhere in that area is.
Yeah, their medical insurance is amazing.
Well, and they have it.
And they're like the best, like Norway. I think it's Norway or Finland, one of those. It's like the best looking people in the world.
Should we move?
I think so.
Yeah. Since we're some of the best looking people.
Yeah. And I think their weather is similar to Wisconsin, so I'm going to be okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to learn to deal with like cold.
We'll work on it. It's better than hot. I'll take cold over hot.
Interesting.
Yeah, because you can warm up. It's hard to cool down.
I do feel, you know what? I just went against my own ways. I actually tell people that all the time, that I'm very okay with the cold because you can put multiple layers on and multiple blankets to get warmer, but you can only take off so much.
Right, until you get arrested.
Well, yeah, basically.
Right.
We don't want to talk about that.
No, that's a different show. That's for our Patreon page. Yeah. You got to pay to hear that one. Our OnlyFans account.
Do people still make those, by the way?
Patreons?
No, OnlyFans or whatever.
I don't know. I think so.
Is it like a thing still?
I think so. I read something recent that they made like $4 billion last year.
Oh, wow.
It also said that they take like 20% from the creators.
Wow.
That's a huge chunk.
Wow.
Think about that next time you're jerking off to someone on OnlyFans.
Jesus.
I mean, connecting with your favorite content creator.
Wow, that was beautiful. That's a beautiful way to put it.
That's what I meant to say.
I'm connecting.
Oh, connected.
Yeah, you just made a lot of people feel better about themselves.
Yeah. I had someone recently ask me why don't you do a video podcast? I was like, I don't know. And oh no, it started with them trying to take my picture. It was a family in-law member, like trying to take pictures. And I was like, no, not right now. I'd just woken up. And they're like, oh, what's wrong? I was like, yeah, I don't have my makeup on. And they're like, oh, what about in your podcast? I was like, no video, man. We got faces for radio. And I walked away.
Amen. I'm just kidding. You're beautiful.
Stop it. And my favorite part was about 2 seconds later, it hit what I had just said. And as I'm walking away here, like the faces for radio really sunk in all of a sudden. Well, old people are weird.
Some people don't get it.
Yeah, they don't. So anyways, all right, back to the beer stuff.
We do beer, yes.
Every now and then. I wanted to mention on June 14th, next Saturday, Topa Topa Brewing out here in my hood in Ventura, California, having their 10th anniversary, which is fucking badass. And Cambria from Topa Topa hit me up and was like, hey, can you spread the word? And can you, any chance you can stop by and say hi? So I'll be there. I'm going to stop by and say hi. It's really cool. Cambria used to work for Radiant Brewing, and we would talk when they first opened, had them on the show, and now she's moved on to work for Topa Topa. So it's fun to keep it all in the same world. But
that's awesome that she still reaches out too.
Yeah, hopefully I get to see her next Saturday. So June 14th, come on out, say hi, Topa Topa. I think it starts at 12:30, something like that. You can find it on the website, topatopa.beer. And if you want to hear our interview with Jack, one of the co-founders of Topa Topa, it's batch 271. Go have a listen and learn about Topa Topa before you go to the anniversary. That's from a couple years ago. So, all right, before we do some news, I want to make a call.
He calls to the bullpen for
beer.
So I'm drinking Other Half Brewing Green Diamonds.
Oh.
It's a Imperial / Double New England Hazy IPA. 8.5%. 100 IBUs.
Goo. In New England?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I guess the Imperial kind of makes it. Anyways. And has a 418 on Untapped out of over 26,000 ratings.
Big numbers.
Yeah. It says an Imperial IPA brewed with a hand-selected blend of hops, given notes of peach, passion fruit, and sweet grapefruit.
Okay.
On the nose buds.
Passion fruit and grapefruit. I think I like the sound of that.
Yeah. The schnoz is quite nice, actually. It's very fruit salady. I'm going to guess that's the grapefruit coming in a little higher.
Would you toss it?
When wouldn't I? Daddy.
So daddy.
On the tongue jobber. Definitely some malt in there. This is a little old school in the maltiness, which, as we know, not always my jam. It's a little thick.
It should be nobody's jam.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it said it's a New England, right?
It's an Imperial. That's how it is. The can says Imperial, Untapped's Imperial / Double New England.
Okay. Now I get it.
So we're gonna call it Imperial because it drinks more like an Imperial. It's pretty bitter. Definitely getting the grapefruit in there and those citrusy notes. A lot of pith from the grapefruit.
Bitter.
Yeah, a lot of bitterness. It does.
Well, the 100 IBUs, that makes sense.
Right. It does coat the tongue. I will say, you can see the color here. It's like, I don't know, not quite copper, like a burnt orange, maybe.
I would say that's a solid description.
I'm looking at a lot of these pictures of people who have checked in on Untapped. Theirs are way sexier looking. It's a lot more like bright and yellowy. And so, once again, this is a Tavor beer.
Dropping the ball, Tavor.
I know we're going to like rename the show to Fuck Tavor or something like that, but I don't know if it wasn't handled well or what, but it is not the same color that it's not just one picture. Multiple pictures are showing this gorgeous looking, very yellow beer. There's a couple of darkies like mine, but overall,
Jesus Christ,
they look, that's dark. They look pretty bright and delicious. So I don't know what the fuck happened here.
Maybe it was filters. Who knows?
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping everybody except for two filtered their photos.
Damn it.
Would probably not buy again. Not worth it.
That's a bummer to hear.
Yeah, not a single, not a 4-pack, not in a box, nor with a fox.
Yeah, those foxes. I'm sorry to hear that about your beer.
Yeah, me too. It's fine. Yeah, it's not good. It's whatever. Really, really coats the tongue. Like I can still feel it.
It doesn't sound good. You say
it's just fine. Best.
You know, when you ask somebody how they're doing and they're not really fine, but they say fine.
It's fine.
That's what I just got from you. It's fine.
And in sign language, I'm saying send help. God, I hope you read sign language. A little news before we end things here. Highland Brewing.
Can I bring up a story real quick?
Yeah, please.
You reminded me. I meant to bring it up last week because it made me laugh, and you said Topa Topa.
Mm-hmm.
So my wife and I have been enjoying this Topo Chico seltzer.
Okay.
It's like a raspberry lemon or something like that. I don't know. Saw it at Target, bought it, been digging it.
Nice.
Well, she has this. I think I texted you about this, actually.
You did, yeah.
I did. So she has this, what she claims like a trashy bar hag of a client.
Straight from Florida.
My wife does, hair.
Yeah.
And my wife had taken one of these to drink at work, and she had it set on her station. And this client came in, and she's taking care of her, and she sees the Topo Chico can on my wife's salon table, and she goes, looking at it, she said, "Oh my God, they make non-alcoholic Topo Chico?" And I just thought that was the funniest shit I've ever heard, as if people just associate that with there being alcohol.
Right.
And yeah, I just wanted to share that. But also I did some research.
Oh.
From drinking other seltzered waters. Sure. If you ever buy the Target brand of seltzer water, it actually says on the can, non-alcoholic.
Oh, thanks, Target.
Which I also thought was hilarious.
Right.
Because
I guess people are more nowadays associating the word seltzer
with
hard
alcohol.
Seltzer.
Right. But the Topo Chico can says nothing about non-alcoholic.
That's funny.
But again, just, maybe somebody ought to chuckle out of that. I definitely did.
Yeah. I bet she's sitting there like, oh, when can I ask her for one of these Topo Chicos? Right. And she's like, oh, fuck, it's not a real Topo Chico.
Oh, you got one of these in the fridge here? Dang.
That's so funny.
No.
That's like those, in quotes, dude barbershops where it's like, come on in, get your haircut, have a beer. Have you seen those?
No.
Do you guys have those out there?
Maybe not.
I've seen those. I don't go because, as you can see, my haircut doesn't require a barbershop or salon. But
I've been getting house haircuts for the last 15 years.
Yeah, I'm sure. I've been getting home haircuts as well. Yeah, no need.
Yeah. Get the razor out.
Yeah, exactly. Some sad news in the beer world. Oscar Wong, the founder of Highland Brewing, dies at the age of 84. He's known as the godfather of Asheville craft beer. Have you had Highland Brewing Company?
Maybe.
Fair enough. I've had a few of their offerings, and it's kind of reminds me of like your big local craft, like your Stone or your Lakefront or something like that.
That's why I feel like I might have had them.
Yeah, I've seen them around. I don't know that they've ever been on table or anything like that, but I've definitely seen them around from time to time at like Total Wine and that kind of stuff, especially pre-COVID when beer was still popular.
Yes, not much, or not very popular now.
Right, it seems that way.
Yeah,
so.
it's dying out. Dun, 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 dun.
So anyways, RIP to him, and thoughts and whatever's out to the Asheville craft community.
84 is a good life, though.
It's pretty good. He died of cancer, but I mean, you made it to 84. That's pretty good.
Not a good way to go, but yeah, super solid life.
Mm-hmm.
If I make it to like 64, I'm gonna be psyched.
Yeah, I kind of don't want to make it much past that.
Interesting.
Yeah, the knees already suck. I'm just gonna be like, crawling around the house. Figure it's not getting better. Like halfway there,
I'm just trying to be optimistic here, man.
Oh, sorry. I mean, yeah, I can't wait.
I'm over here like my back, my knees, my shoulders. Yeah, there's not gonna be much left of me by 64.
That's what I'm thinking. It's gonna be like one big spinal fusion, and
I can't even sit on the ground for like 2 minutes.
No.
And then I try to get up and my back is like all locked up and I have to walk around like an old geezer, like bent over, like hunched over because it hurts so bad.
Yeah, I feel that.
Okay. Just making sure.
And the worst for me is the knees, like getting up from the ground. You might as well ask me to call or to climb up a skyscraper or something. That's not happening.
Are you Spider-Man, Like, geez.
Yeah. You want me to get up from the ground?
Get real.
You're really asking a lot over here.
Grow up.
Exactly. Thanks to Davis for setting this one out. Shout out to Davis.
Davis, good guy.
Yeah. Loves himself some cannibal sandwiches.
Who doesn't, though, really?
Hand raised right over here. To be fair,
don't knock it till you try it.
The problem is I don't think I'll be trying it anytime soon. My butthole would not appreciate. Great Divide. Sad news. Great Divide to shutter 2 Denver tap rooms.
Bummer.
Yeah. Nearly 2 months after the sale of its distribution business and future taproom rights, Great Divide Brewing is shuttering its Denver locations. They wrote in an Instagram post, while we'll be raising one last pint at our ballpark and Brighton Boulevard tap rooms at the end of June, this isn't goodbye. It's just the beginning. It just sounds like a weird old trope.
That is weird.
How is it not a goodbye? You're closing 2 locations.
Yeah.
Great Divide joined Wilding Brands' growing beverage alcohol platform in early April, which we talked about. However, the Denver tap rooms, 4 satellite brew pubs in the suburbs, and a Denver International Airport were carved out of the transaction. They were not part of the sale. The sale allowed Great Divide founder Brian Dunn to wind down his craft beer career while staying involved with the brand's long-term licensing agreements for its locations beyond Denver proper. All 4 Great Divide locations outside of Denver will remain open, he confirmed yesterday. The additional retail locations have been really helpful as Great Divide adapted in a changing craft industry. Wilding Brands will open a new Great Divide retail location in Denver later this year.
Interesting.
Weird.
This is at a ballpark location. Close it down.
I don't think it's actually in the ballpark. I think it's right next to the ballpark.
But yeah, like around. Like that's got to be like a busy area, Like.
Oh, for sure. I've been there after games.
Although the Rockies are absolutely terrible and they've had the worst start to a season in the modern era.
Okay, I've not been there this season, but
so maybe this has just been a bad year.
Blame it on the Rockies.
Yeah,
businesses are closing. Thanks, Rockies.
9-50.
Oh my god! Really?
Yeah. Let me double check. That was a couple of days ago, at least.
Even if you're mostly correct, that is embarrassing.
Oh, I'm pretty accurate. 10-50 now. They are on a 1-game winning streak.
Oh, how dare you? Can they make it 2? Keep that streak alive. Wow.
Yeah, they're probably going to win about 35 games this year, 36 games.
They're on par to really knock it out.
Yeah.
Good job, Rockies. We're going to be in Colorado later this year. I should get Rockies tickets because they'll probably be dirt fucking cheap.
Dirt fucking cheap. They will probably pay you to come into the stadium.
Yeah, like here's $1. Come on in.
I would take it.
Yeah, I like the stadium. I like going there.
Amazing view. It looks great. I've never been.
Great views.
It looks amazing.
I think I recently talked about this. One of the times we're there, we're watching the Dodgers, and out way past center field, out in the miles away, there was a lightning storm.
Yes.
So
I can't remember if this was on the show or if this was a sidebar.
I can't remember either. So we're watching the game, and just the whole fucking game. No rain. It was far enough away. Just lightning storms straight out of center field. It was gorgeous. It was like one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. And Dodgers won. So suck it, Rockies.
They suck.
Yeah, they really do.
It's so bad. People thought the White Sox were bad last year.
Not as bad as the Rockies.
Not as bad.
A Rome, Georgia, not Rome.
Okay.
Italy.
Okay. I was going to say, I don't think you say it like that.
Yeah. A Rome woman found driving drunk, ingesting drugs after stopped for a broken headlight.
Oh, somebody didn't want to get caught.
Yeah. Wanda Michael Nelson, 53 of Rome, was arrested this week for driving drunk. What? Michael Nelson. Her middle name is Michael.
Okay. I was just double checking that.
Yeah, no, you heard me right.
Okay.
Was arrested this week for driving drunk on multiple drugs. Wow. Driving drunk and on multiple drugs while being stopped on Martha Berry Boulevard for a broken headlight. Reports that Nelson told officers that she had ingested multiple narcotics before they approached her car. Any guesses as to what her car was? Because it's so fitting.
A 92 Tercel?
No, that's a good one, but no. A 1970 Chevy Camaro.
Interesting.
It's perfect. And I'm sure it was beat to shit.
Loading up and trucking, man.
Yeah. A search also led police to find suspected meth in her pants.
Oh.
An open bottle of liquor was also found underneath the driver's seat.
I do hear that's the best place to keep your meth is your pants.
Yeah, it keeps that proper temperature and humidity.
Pants temperature.
Right. Not to be confused with pants drunk.
Accurate.
Yeah. So anyways, she's charged with possession of meth, a DUI, driving unsuspended license, headlight violation, open container, and operation of an unregistered vehicle. I love that they threw the headlight violation in there.
Well, you have to.
I guess so. We'll end it on this one. Some drunk Uber passengers were dangerously dumped on the side of the highway.
Sounds terrible.
Yeah. After I read this, I want you to answer this for me. What would you do if you were the driver?
Okay.
Thames police said the drunk pair were kicked out and left in a refuge bay near Reading in the early hours of Sunday morning. Officers were called to the location after receiving reports of two pedestrians on the side of the motorway. In a Facebook post on Sunday, the Thames Valley Police issued an appeal to Uber drivers not to, quote, dump passengers in such spots, even if they've been sick in their car. A spokesperson for the force said, just a polite message to taxi and Uber drivers. If your intoxicated fare ends up being sick in the back of your vehicle after a Saturday night on the town, please don't dump them on the side of a dark motorway. According to LBC, the force confirmed an investigation is underway. It's an offense to allow the public to put themselves in the position of being a pedestrian on the motorway. In a statement sent to LBC, Thames Valley Police spokesperson said, our roads policing officers attended a refuge bay. Is that like a dump? It's very European.
I have no idea.
Near Reading on the M4 motorway this morning around 1:40 a.m. after reports of two pedestrians on the side of the road. It's an offense to allow the public to put themselves in the position of being a pedestrian on the motorway. An investigation is ongoing.
It says a refuge bay can refer to a bay that provides shelter or sanctuary. It can also refer to a bay in New South Wales, Australia.
Oh, all right. Maybe it is Australian.
I don't know.
Maybe
it's like a bus stop?
No, because it was on a dark, lonely highway.
Oh, I don't know.
But anyway, so if you were the Uber driver and these two drunks in the back seat of your car were throwing up, what would you do? I might dump them too.
I'm not saying it's not a great thing to do, but think about it in the idea of an Uber driver.
Mm-hmm.
If you're driving Uber at night, like bar close, you're usually not doing it for extra money. You're usually doing it because that's what you do. You follow?
You mean that it's a job, not a side hustle?
Right.
Okay.
Like that is your source of income. Like that is your career, so to speak.
Sure.
Somebody pukes in the backseat of your car, that completely ruins your night.
That is true. You can no longer drive anybody else.
Now you can no longer pick anybody else up. You got to go home or go somewhere because I'm assuming there's no car wash, no vacuum station, like nothing that's open to be like, hey, let's clean my car out quick and get back on the road.
I imagine you're right. Yeah.
So, I would assume I'd be pretty pissed off.
Here's the other thing, though. They've already done the throwing up. What are you going to do now?
What do you mean?
Well, you say, and you're right, there's no open car washes and all that kind of stuff to take care of the problem.
Yeah.
But they've already done the throwing up in the back of your car. So whether you drop them off in the middle of nowhere or take them home, it doesn't change the back of your car status.
Still stinks like shit, yeah.
Yeah. Now, I will absolutely kick these fuckers out. You know how I am about my car. Get the fuck out of my car.
Yeah, especially if it's a nice car.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. But how can you, if you're not in the position that this driver was in, you can't really give like an honest response. I would like to be a nice guy and say, oh, I've thrown up in the back of a car, which I never have.
Same.
And you like cope with the individual, like, oh yeah, it's just a stupid night. You take them home and then you still have puke in your car. Because you're right. There's no difference as if you kick them out to if you take them home.
Right.
Unless this guy was super close to his house and he just said, fuck these guys.
Yeah, could be.
Who knows?
I did have a girl throw up in the back of my car once, but I did not know it till after the fact.
I had a kid throw up in the back of my car once. That wasn't great.
Was it your own kid?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, okay. Otherwise you would have kicked him out, right?
But yeah, well, it's not my kid. Get the fuck out of my car.
Right, get the fuck out of my car. What do you think you're doing? Now, is that with
the fuck?
Yeah. It's out with a couple of friends one night. It was me and two girls, and we're at a club and we were drinking, and I didn't know. So the friend of my friend got fucking hammered, and she started talking to the DJ, and the DJ of course gets free drinks. So the DJ is like getting her all these free drinks. DJ thought he had a chance. Little did he know I had taken the girls with me, so I'm not letting this girl go home with some stranger, especially in the state she was in.
What a nice guy.
If she was coherent and she wanted to go home with this guy, that's one thing, but she was fucking smashed. So it was to the point where I had to help her out to my car. Like she wasn't walking. And so I told my friend, I was like, stay here, I'll come back, and took her out to the car, put her in the back seat, went back in for my friend who was very drunk, but not nearly as physically incapacitated. Got them both in the car, got everybody home safe. And then the next day I was getting something out of the back seat, and I looked down, there was like a little spot of what appeared to be throw up. I was like, God damn it.
Just a spot?
It was not like a full puke. It was just like, some baby throw up kind of thing.
Huh.
It was on the floor. I was still pretty pissed. I was like, that's the last time you ride in my car.
Well, sounds like she did a really good job of holding it in so.
I guess so.
Like if you just get like a spot.
That's true. Like where'd the rest of it go?
Right. Yeah. Like so I don't even want to think about it. You know what? I don't even think about it.
Nope, we're done. Yep. And let's hit some music and never talk about that again. Hi, Vanessa.
Hello, Vanessa.
Sorry to transition from puke to Vanessa. Find us at craftbeerrepublic.com, on the socials at craftbeerrepublic, at flexbeer_, in between 805-538 beer. I think that's our thing. Next week, I'll tell you guys about my trip to Florida.
Can't wait.
Hope everyone's staying very well hydrated.
And on that note,
good night, everybody.